Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we are going to take a look at a new model. It's new Broken Realms Model Monday, or whatever it's called. I mean, the article is right in front of me. I could just read the title, but no. Instead, I opted to say something stupid. Then again, why is that any different to normal? It's not. That's how this works. Just stupid stuff on an almost daily basis. So, Warhammer Age of Sigmar Broken Realms, we have a new model. It's a floating tree spirit with a magical war flute. Now, thanks for that, computer. Really needed that. I'll be honest here. The first thing I thought, and I've not played the video. I've not played the video because I don't want to spoil what you should hear when you see this. Now, Jurassic Park theme aside, I like this. I like bits of it, and I'm not too keen on other bits of it. I will say I'm a sucker for the Sylvaneth. I think that is a great range. I think pretty much everything in there looks pretty damn solid. And, I mean, you know full well that I have my own, little Nightmare Sylvaneth side project going on as it is. And to be honest, there is a huge amount of potential in this model for me to just turn it into something creepy and awful. Although, having said that, Sylvaneth as a whole are kind of creepy anyway. And I will say that I think this has got something of a creepy aura about it. It's got that, the way the tree bits are coming out from, I'm assuming, the spine, and travelling up to support this, big ornamental, almost headpiece, but it's not really, because it's not attached to his head. I really like that. That's a really cool image to me. There's something, maybe biblical isn't the term. If you actually look at descriptions of angels, they're not just a bloke with wings. There's all weird stuff going on with 6 wings with a face in the middle of them and multiple concentric wheels and stuff. And this is that side of that kind of thing where there's just this weird otherworldly element going on, which I really, really like. I'm not too keen on the little bug hatching out of the egg. That, to me, is really cartoony, which doesn't fit in with the rest of the model. The rest of the model doesn't look cartoony, but that one little bit does, which is a weird contrast, and I'm not 100% sold on it. I really like the the flora on the base, the kind of sculpted leaves, the vines are a cool touch, especially the fact they're very spiky and tendril-like. That's cool. I like that a lot. The overall pose of this thing is really good as well. The fact that the cloak cape thing, well, it's more of a skirt, really, isn't it? Whatever it is, the fact that it's attached to those bone antlers coming out of the ground, it gives it a really solid illusion of floating. It properly looks like it's floating, which I know that's the whole point, but there are a few models, especially older ones, that are supposed to look like they're floating, but sort of don't. They kind of look like they're awkwardly supported on stuff, which is that's something that's just got better at over time. It's the same thing with moving poses that aren't just static and standing in one place. There's a lot more going on in terms of proper dynamic moving poses nowadays, which is really nice. The same thing goes with having models that look like they're properly floating in the air, seemingly without anything keeping them aloft. This is one of those examples. It works well. I have to admit, I'm a little unsure as to the kind of cloak skirt thing itself, because it's obviously meant to be greenery of some kind. It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be leaves. That would make the most sense, large kind of canopy leaves anyway. But it doesn't look like it's necessarily it's like a mix of bark and leaves. The way that it's painted there suggests more leaves than bark, but I would argue that that's going to be tricky to pull off for a lot of people. I feel like this is one of those ones where my chosen method of just a bit of dry brushing is not really going to cut it, because you're not going to get that same definition that's been got here with kind of going over those range, the raised edges are very cleanly highlighted to look like the veins of a leaf, but the overall structure of it they don't really look like leaves. I feel like if you're going to do something that is supposed to be leaf-like, it needs to be quite clearly defined in the same way as, like, the Idoneth Deep King guy, is it Volturn? He's got, like, a big cape of flowing water, and you know exactly what it is. It looks like flowing water. It looks like a waterfall. And, like, that, you know, that kind of informs how you would paint that. This is a bit more kind of free in its interpretation, which is fine, but that, I think, is going to make it a bit of a greater challenge for a lot of people, like myself included, when I end up invariably turning this into some sort of monstrosity and putting it in my Sylvaneth army. It's nice, it's good, but it feels like it's halfway between two things, and it's not 100% clear as to which of those two things it is. Which, if you're going for a personal interpretation thing, is fine. If it's supposed to just be, look at this leaf cloak, it's not quite what I'd personally go for myself. But, like, the wooden limbs look really good. Those always look good on the Sylvaneth stuff. I think they've really nailed that kind of look. The actual flute trumpet flute, whatever it is, that's nicely done as well. That looks decent. He is actually holding it up to his face in the right way for the kind of instrument it is. You can see where it's got the, I don't know the technical name for it, but, like, where you blow into the instrument, it's held up to the lip in the proper way, which is, to be honest, quite a nice touch. Also, the fact that the hair seems to go all the way over the head. The one thing that I'm not 100%... Like, the one thing that I don't like on the Tree Revenants is the fact that the hair only comes down the front and not the back as well. It looks a bit off to me. It looks a bit weird. Or at least, I'm 99% sure how that works. I've put two of those together, but unfortunately I've not really used all that many of the heads, because they've all been replaced with skeleton torsos. So, I've not had cause to use the hair, but I think you only get four or five per kit, which would suggest that you don't double up on the heads. They're not bald. They've all got, like, this long strand of hair on either side. But I don't think it covers the entire head, which this does, which I prefer quite a lot. There's a nice amount of detail on the braces as well. The kind of swirling Sylvaneth carvings on the arms come through really nicely. I like it. I like it. It is quite otherworldly. It's good. Yeah, as they say, there's a good number of textures, and I do like the inclusion of that big old symbol on the top there. That's nice. That kind of gives it an extra something. Kind of lifts it a little bit. Although, yeah, I'm just not sold on the little bug, to be honest. It's just not for me. Not for me personally. But if you like it, then you like it. That's fine. That's all it is. Just an opinion, innit? Yeah, I quite like this. So that's the Warsong Revenant, and I'm absolutely going to be grabbing one of these. He's going to go in my Sylvaneth army. He's going to look grand with a bunch of bones and weird stuff going on, made into some sort of ethereal nightmare. That's generally what I go for with those lads. So, yeah, I like it. Approval for the Warsong Revenant. Nice one, lads. What do you reckon, though? Good? Bad? Somewhere in the middle? Love it? Hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like. Don't click it if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games, which you can use to support the channel if you would like. I leave it in your capable hands. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.